Hi everyone, I'm Sloane Taylor and welcome to What's Cooking Wednesday. Today we're going to take an American classic and just jazz it up a little bit. We're making stuffed hamburgers. And you're like, what? But you'll see, they're very good. So we have here a mixing bowl and the cameraman will be shooting over it instead of at me. Now we are going to take an egg and lightly beat it. So that when we put it in the meat, it won't be a big solid block of yolk. Okay, now, before we get started, I want to tell you that every video we offer a little contest, and it's a tips contest. So what you do is, you listen closely because throughout the video I will say the word tip, and then you will send me an email. That address is at the end of the video. That in the subject line you will write for this week video 5 tips, and then just put the number of tips you think we said at the video. We put those names in a baggie and pull out a winner, and 2 people will get signed autographed copies of my latest cookbook. Now, let's get started with our stuffed hamburgers. These are our ingredients. We're going to use ground chuck, that's 80% lean, and that's what you want. We're going to use ground sirloin, that's 90% lean, and that's what you want to use. We have chives, black pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and a little red wine, and of course our egg. Now, so we're going to put on, we're going to snip the chives, and this is what you want to do. If you're using fresh chives, you can use dried. You want to take the chives and snip them onto wax paper. Don't do cling wrap because that's going to hold the chives. It won't let you sprinkle them out. Cut up a bunch, put them in a dish, cover them then with cling wrap, and use them with scrambled eggs. That little bit of feta cheese we have left over from last week, throw that in, and it's a wonderful, wonderful breakfast. Okay, now, the reason we do it on wax paper, as you can see, these things move. If you do it on a plate, they're going to be all over your counter. And it's easier to control the amount you want to use and how you want to use them if you have them on the wax paper. So, now we take our, bring our bowl back, and here's another tip for you. Disposable vinyl exam gloves. I get these at Walgreens, they're dirt cheap. This box holds 200, you can also get the box for 400. These things are safe for food handling, so you don't have to worry about that. And as much as I like to use my hands, I really, really don't like to get them all greased up with raw meat. So now we're going to put on our little gloves. We're going to start adding our ingredients into the bowl. So now we have our ground chuck. We're going to put that in first. And now we're going to move this up so the cameraman can get the picture. And see, I'm kind of mushing it a little bit to break it up so everything goes together. Now we're going to add in our ground sirloin, beautiful piece of meat. Mix that together. And then we're going to add our chives. Now we only want a couple of tablespoons, so I'm going to just take a few handfuls. Chives are mild onion flavoring, so they'll replace onions in this dish, but you would still add onion to your finished burger. Do a little mixing. Now we're going to dump in our egg, and before we mix that up, I'm going to take this glove off and throw it out. because now we have to put in our pepper, and this is fresh ground pepper to taste, whatever you like. And the recipe is at the end of the video, so you don't have to worry about quantities in that right now. Now we're going to add our Worcestershire sauce. Made a little bit extra of this than the recipe calls for because this is excellent frozen. They thaw quickly and they cook beautifully. So now we're going to use 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. And then we're going to use, this way, 2 tablespoons of dry red wine. Yum. Oh, maybe a touch more. See that? That's a little Mickey Mouse stopper that our oldest daughter brought us back as a souvenir when she went to Disney World. Love it, love it, love it. Works great. Now, we have our ingredients. We're going to put on another glove and mix this up. It's best to mix it with your hands because that way you will get the true mix. You won't have a spoon that only does part of it. So I don't know if now, see where you just squish it like you're making a meatloaf. Actually, this makes a very good meatloaf too if you want to do that. Just use these ingredients and bake it away. See how it's all blending in, so it makes a nice tight bowl of meat. Okay, now get rid of the chives. And then we're going to take a piece of wax paper. See, you don't mix it for very long. We're going to take a big piece of wax paper and we're going to make our patties. You break off clump, plunk it down, another clump. You want to try and make these clumps as evenly as possible. Get out of the way there. This one's a little small. And you want an even number of little balls. Roll it into little balls. While you're doing that, come here you. Okay, so now it's a little big. Just form them like you're making any other kind of hamburger patty. Okay, now, there's more in the bowl, but I just want to do these to show you how it works, because you don't want to sit here for a half hour while I'm forming patties. Now you take a clean piece of wax paper, lay it across the top, and you want to take a soup bowl or a large salad plate. The thing is, you want the bottoms. You want these big rings on the bottom, because what you're going to do is press them down evenly. You see how my hands are evenly on the plate? You want to do that so your burgers come out pretty uniform. Now normally you would put these on a plate and put them in the refrigerator for a half hour or so before Here's my scissors. Before you would cook them, so then, you know, after you form them. But today we're going to cook them right away because we need to get going. So now you throw out the top part of your wax paper. And here's where the fun begins. You stuff these with cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, or mushrooms, or even avocado. But we're going to use sharp cheddar and mushrooms. We'll do 2 with just the cheese and 1 with the mushroom and cheese. Studs loves mushrooms on his burgers, so we'll see how well he likes mushrooms in his burger. So now, it's good to do maybe 2, depending on how big they are. See, when I cut up the cheese, it came out in different sizes, so we just figure out what works good. We got another little piece. No, we'll make a little piece. There we go. So now, we've got that. Then, on this one, we're going to put a little bit of mushroom. Now, you can freeze these with the cheese and the mushroom in it. It's going to be fine. So don't worry about that. Now, we'll put in a little, get in there, you little devil. Put in a little mushroom. Just a little. Now, you want to take this other burger and put it on top of that. Normally I wouldn't use so many gloves, but because we are, you know, demonstrating for you, that forces me to do such. After your burgers are cooked and you're ready to serve them with potato salad, French fries, coleslaw, there's a million things you can use that make a complete meal. Okay, so see now, you lay that burger on top, but what you have to do is you have to seal it. So you must go around the entire patty and crimp it together so it doesn't leak when you're cooking it. See, that's why we're only going to do these 3, because you certainly don't want to sit here for all of this. Okay, now our mushroom burger. If you do cheese and mushroom, you've got to make the patty bigger, because otherwise it won't hold everything. You know, to want to split away, it's too much of a filling for it. So now we're going to pretend that we put these in the fridge for a half hour or so, but we aren't, because you don't want to sit around for a half hour or so. But what we will do is, come here, you. We have to put them on a plate so that we can work with them at the stove. You see, and they make like little mounds. Now, to mark the one, even though I know it's the big one, but to mark it, I'm going to put a stick in it so I know that that's the one with the cheese and the mushrooms. So now, we will have here, you get a nice roll from the bakery or the bakery section of your grocery store instead of regular hamburger buns. These are going to be thick, they're going to be juicy, so you want something better than just a regular hamburger bun. Otherwise you're going to have a problem with it all melting away. Now, you can do 1 or 2 things. You definitely want to spread a little olive oil on here because we're going to brown these. But my favorite is to use, the first video we made garlic flavored olive oil. That's what we're going to use for this particular burger. So you'll take about a tablespoon of olive oil for each roll that you use. So we're going to just lightly coat it on both sides. And now, my fine young audience, we're going to stop the video for just a couple of seconds. Everything will go white, but don't think we're in a whiteout here. We just need to set up at the stove so you can see the cooking method, okay? Don't go away, we'll be back in a minute. And now we have the cooking process of our meal. This is a grill pan, and I have it on medium-high so that it gets good and hot. And it's been on a while, so it isn't like it would heat up this quick for you. Okay, you see how those beads dance? That's what you want, and then you put our bun on there to grill. Now I'm going to lower it a little bit because then you have to use your hands to push down gently on the bun so that all of it gets heated through. Woohoo! Then we're going to lift it. You see it's got the grill marks, but it doesn't have the brown yet. So got to go a little bit more. I have to increase the heat. And you have to be careful because once it starts, this thing can burn really quick, and there you are with a burnt bun. So you just, whoa. And you won't have any hair left on your arms, trust me on that. You might even learn some new swear words. Okay. You can also use your spatula, which I think I'm going to do now so I don't burn all the hair off my arms. See? Nice little grill marks. You don't want it burned and you don't want it real done. You just want it so where it has that little bit to hold together so that the burgers don't bleed through them. Now, I don't know how you like your burgers done, but in my house, we like them medium rare. So that's what we're gonna try for. I'm only gonna make one right now. You use the same pan. Hear that sizzle? That's a good thing. That's exactly what it's supposed to do in order to be cooking right. Now it's going to take some time, so I don't know if the director wants to shut the video for a few minutes, or if he's going to let this go and I won't talk, and then he's just going to zip it on through so you see the finished product. You only want to turn this once, but you also want to slide it around so it doesn't stick and burn. Now we've lowered our heat to medium, and this side should be well see? Got the little marks. Now we're going to let it go there. And here's the secret. Put a lid over it so that will help cook the inside and melt your cheese. Why don't we get a lid? And it will take approximately, see how that works? And then that heat is going to stay right there and not go all over the pan and all over the room. It's going to condense itself to cooking that burger. And it will take approximately 7 to 9 minutes to cook the burger to a medium rare. Now when you're cooking this on the stove, use a lid. That will trap the heat in and it will cook your burger faster. This burger has been on approximately 8 minutes and we have a medium rare. Now what we're going to do is scoop this off and put it on our plate here. And then we're going to slice it open so you get a better view of what it looks like. so hot. I'm afraid I'll burn myself. You see? Your cheese is melted. The meat is a perfect medium rare. And remember, meat cooks a little longer after it's been removed from the heat. So don't let it go too far. And because of the wine and the Worcestershire, it will be very juicy. It will dry out. So thank you for coming. See you next week. And may all the days of your life be filled with laughter, friends, and seated around a well-laden table. Bye.